I wasn't snooping. I swear. She asked me to grab the jack. Said her tire light came on again. I popped the trunk. Lifted the cover. And there it was. A letter. Folded. Worn. With creases so sharp it looked like it had been read 100 times. No envelope. Just writing. On the front. For D, if you ever find me. My name doesn't start with D. I stared at it. Hand frozen. Brain spinning. I opened it. Because what else was I supposed to do? First line hit me like a punch. I'm sorry I left without saying goodbye. I kept reading. She talked about nights in Chicago. A cheap apartment. A scar she got from a broken mirror. Stuff she never told me. Ever. Then this. I know they said you died in the fire. But I never believed it. Not really. I still don't. I felt sick. Like my chest was caving in. I folded the letter. Put it in my jacket. Closed the trunk. She was inside. Waiting. Smiling. And I was standing there. Knowing the woman I lived with. Slept with. Loved. Was hiding a life. Was someone she swore didn't exist. I got back in the car. Shut the door. Hand shaking. She looked at me. Said, "Did you find it?" I said, "The jack." "Yeah." She smiled. Kept driving. Music low. Like nothing had shifted. But everything had. I said, "You ever been to Chicago?" She said, "Once. College trip." "Why?" I shrugged. "Just wondering." Sounded familiar. She nodded. Tapped the wheel. Kept her eyes forward. I watched her. Every blink. Every breath. She didn't flinch. I wanted to throw the letter in her lap. Scream. "Who's D? Who's still alive?" But I didn't. Because I needed more. I needed to know how far down this went. That night. She fell asleep fast. I sat in the living room. Held the letter again. Read it 3 more times. There was no last name. No address. No date. But every word felt like a door cracking open. And behind it was someone she buried, but never let go. I started with the closet. Her side. The box at the top she never let me touch. I pulled it down. Dusty. Taped. Inside. Old photos. Birthday cards. A hospital bracelet. And another letter. This one sealed. Same handwriting. Same D. I didn't open it. Not yet. Just kept digging. Found a journal. Half full. Entries short. Sharp. All from the same year. 2017. Before we met. One line stopped me cold. "He's gone. They told me not to look. But what if they lied?" I kept reading. Bits and pieces. Fire escape. His brother warned me. Change my name. I felt like I was inside someone else's life. Not hers. Not the woman who made pancakes on Sundays. And kissed my forehead every morning. This version of her. Ran from something. Or someone. And left everything behind. Except the truth. I waited until she left for work. Watched her taillights disappear. Then sat at the table. Just me. The sealed letter. And too many questions. I opened it slow. Careful. Like it might explode. First line. "I saw someone who looked like you yesterday." Same walk. Same voice. And for a second, I couldn't breathe. I kept reading. Every word heavy. She talked about memories. A diner in the rain. A fight they had about nothing. Him walking out. Her chasing after. It was love. But loud. Messy. Like it never learned how to be soft. Then this. They said it was arson. That your body was too burned to identify. But I know that's a lie. You don't just disappear like that. Not you. My hands were sweating. She kept going. Said she changed her name. Moved twice. Cut off his brother. Deleted every trace. Except this. The letters. Mine now. His name was in the journal. Twice. Look. I searched Facebook. Found him fast. Same face from an old photo I found in her box. Just older. Tired. I messaged him. Said I had questions. About someone named D. And a woman named. I used her old name. The one from the letter. He read it. Didn't reply. For 2 days. Then one line. Meet me where it started. Attached. A pinned map. An address in Indiana? Gas station. Middle of nowhere. I drove 5 hours. He was already there. Leaning on his truck. Arms crossed. He looked at me. Hard. Silent. Then said, "She's still running?" I asked. "From what?" He said. "From herself." I asked. "Did Dee die?" He paused. Then said, "Not exactly." I asked again, "Did he die?" Luke shook his head. Slow. Said, "No. But he should have." I waited. He lit a cigarette. Looked away when he talked. He said, "The fire was real. The explosion too. But Dee made it out. Barely. Burned. Scarred. Lost everything. Except her. And she left him anyway." I said, "Why?" He said, "Because he changed. And she couldn't. He became someone else. After the pain. After the hospital. After the pills. The silence. She tried. But she was too full of guilt. Too full of fear." I asked. "Where is he now?" Luke looked at me. "If I knew, I wouldn't tell you. And if you're smart, you won't keep digging." I said, "She's my fiancée." He laughed once. Low. Dry. "No. She's whoever she needs to be. Until she can hold it together. Then she runs. Again." She came home early. Stood in the doorway. Coat still on. Face pale. She said, "We need to talk." I sat down. She didn't. She said, "You read the letter." I nodded. She said, "You found Luke." I nodded again. Long pause. Just air between us. She said, "I didn't lie about loving you. I just didn't know how to love right. Not after him. Not after what I did." I asked, "What did you do?" She said, "I let him believe I'd wait. I told him I'd be there when he got out. And then I ran. Changed my name. Changed everything." I asked, "Why me?" She said, "Because you were calm. Safe. Good. You didn't need fixing." I asked, "Am I just a chapter?" She looked at me. Finally sat down. And said, "No. You're the ending. If you want to be." I said nothing. Because right then, I didn't know if I wanted to finish her story, or finally write mine. I packed the next morning. Slow. No rush. Just quiet. She watched me. Didn't cry. Didn't beg. She said, "You don't have to go." I said, "But I do. Not because I hate you. I don't. And that's the problem. I loved a version of you that didn't exist. And maybe you did too. But I won't live in a maybe." I left the key on the table. One last look. She didn't move. On the way out, I passed the car. The trunk. I opened it one last time. The letter was still there. Creased. Silent. I didn't take it. It wasn't mine to carry anymore. I drove. No music. No map. Just distance. Just air. Just me. For the first time. In a long time. That felt like enough. The end.